Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me again. Let's see if we're live again here. Okay, cool. Looks like we're live. Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, we had a bit of a problem. In the previous live stream. It froze. It froze, ladies and gentlemen. What froze it? What froze the live stream? Okay, let's pick back up. I still have the chat, luckily, from the previous live stream. And I'll continue from there. Thank you for joining me again. I had a couple of other supers. Thank you so much. That's from Donna, Chocolate Pudding, and Bob Marston. And who else did we have? Yeah, Bob Marston. Saying that, sorry, I'm late. There was a video published a few hours ago stating that Turkey is stating all foreign nationals fight for the IDF would be ordered home. We've heard reports of dual nationals, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. And Chocolate Pudding is saying he's going back home soon, taking a helmet. Stay safe, my brother. And greetings to everyone in Lebanon. Duna, Abdullah. Salam Mahmoud, if war breaks out between Israel and Hezbollah, will the Lebanese army attack Hezbollah from the back? How will they deal with this? No, I don't think they will attack them from the back. Because they know what Hezbollah is capable of. I don't think they will attack them from... Not that they will be very helpful. Not that they will be very helpful. Then let's see what we had from the other chat too before we go to this chat. Vivek Shantia, thank you for your membership. Said, Mahmoud, hope you're well. Yes, thank you so much. Hope you're well. So if Netanyahu drills ceasefire talks, does this mean we see a war attrition in Gaza while they go on a war in Lebanon? Exactly that. This is what he clearly is thinking of. A war of attrition where they will escalate or de-escalate based on what they want and going all out war in Lebanon. This is what he's pushing for. This is what he's pushing for. Gullyberg, thank you for your super. Said the stream froze like Biden. Yeah. Karma. Yeah, I pretended to be Biden and then I froze. See? Karma hits you back. Bizzer, thank you so much. Okay, this time I'm going to actually try and read it out as you wrote it. Was Trill Witcher Mahmoud that bull Netanyahu gonna get that ass rolled by Hezbollah from the back? I agree. I agree, my friend. Thank you so much for your super. I hope I read it out as you wrote it. I hope. What does that mean? See, you already have questions. I assume that means, Bizzer means, what's up, Mahmoud? That boy Netanyahu will get something rolled on by Hezbollah from the back. So I think that's what that means. Okay, let's see if we have anything as well from the live chat. And if I missed anything from the previous chat, if you wouldn't mind repeating it. Where were we? Marvin. Marvin asking about Libya and who's in power and who's stealing the oil. Any chance the Libyans have fight Israel? Well, they're still split, but there's more stability now. Obviously, many people benefit from the oil. Them helping, well, they had things channeled to Gaza through Egypt. But I don't think there's a lot they can do because of their geographic location, certain things that prevent them. They had things smuggled to Gaza before, though. And obviously people, look, Hamas just said they recruited more people. It's not like they need someone to fight with them. Studio Rainer, thank you so much for your super. He said it's not who votes that counts, it's who counts the votes. Yeah, 100%. We know the US is under blackmail. Only revolution will change where we are headed. Look, who counts the votes? Absolutely. And you had fraud. And you have fraud in countries that call themselves democratic by simply sometimes not counting the votes exactly as they should count them in certain areas where they don't want to count them. Do you remember Bush in the second term and the votes in Florida at the time? That's and that happens in other countries too. Khalid Razak, thank you for your question. You said Anshas Hezbollah take back the Golan Heights with Syria. They have the capability to do that. They have the capability to do that. The question is, will that be something that will be agreed upon between them? And would they want to risk an all-out war in Syria as well? Obviously, assuming the IDF is capable, by the way. Would they want to do that? Not sure. But that's definitely a possibility. And we had an escalation. We had attacks from Syria in the last couple of days on the Golan Heights too. And Israel constantly attacks Syria. And again, you have so many forces in Syria. You're talking about risking it with everyone. Russia's there, the US is there, Turkey is there, Iran is there. And now Turkey are trying to reestablish their relationship with Syria. So that's something quite sensitive. Obviously, if an all-out war breaks out, that's everything will be open. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're talking about an escalation with Hezbollah and all out, and then other countries will go in, you will have other attacks on Israel. That could be an option. That could be an option. Munanana, yeah, we heard reports about that, but you talk about the NATO offices in Jordan. I heard about that. Again, you know, what I said is, you know, Jordan already has great ties with these countries, and they participated in defending Israel. So what would surprise us? NATO is expanding. Today we had reports that Ukraine is on an irreversible track to join NATO. China's been talking about the US creating a Southeast Asian NATO. And there was just another report, by the way, out. In the earlier live stream, I was telling you about Benjamin Netanyahu and his statements that the head of the Mossad is agreeing with him on his statements that he made, his harsh statements and demands that he can restart the war whenever he wants. His office said that the head of the Mossad is totally agreeing with him. We later had a clarification that that wasn't the case. And he didn't actually make those statements. He said that Israel would have the right to go and restart the war if Hamas breaches the agreements. But Netanyahu translated it as such to show as if, a very united front. Although we had all of these disagreements from before. And now there's another report that the people in the negotiating delegation were shocked from the demands of Benjamin Netanyahu. An Israeli official involved in the negotiations on the hostage deal said that the Prime Minister's new demand to prevent the return of armed men to the northern Gaza Strip could derail the talks on a hostage deal. Again, that's another thing confirming that this man is about to explode everything. And also confirming that Israel already gave up their terms when it comes to having armed people in the north. Signaling that the negotiating delegation agreed that armed Hamas members can go back to North Gaza. An Israeli senior official involved in the negotiations on the hostage deal said that the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's new demand to prevent the return of the armed men to northern Gaza Strip could derail the talks. According to the report, the issue came up during the consultation held by Prime Minister on the deal yesterday. Some members of the negotiating team expressed to Netanyahu reservations about his new demands. See, again, he comes up with new demands like he did before. They reach a deal and he comes up with new demands. It's the same thing that he's done before. All of that signals that the man is not interested in a deal. And he's only negotiating for the sake of negotiation. He doesn't want to reach a deal. But he's saying all of that to show, I'm negotiating. Mind over matter, saying Arab nations, including Al Saud, have sent millions of dollars to Lebanon. Your thoughts? They always send millions to Lebanon. Saudi Arabia in particular, they try and control certain elements in Lebanese politics. You have obviously the US and France is active there. Iran is obviously heavily present. Parts who are loyal to Syria. And Saudi Arabia also tries to have Saudi Arabia had the previous Prime Minister Al-Hariri under house arrest. They have that much say when it comes to Lebanon. And it wasn't up until France intervened that they released him, Saad al-Hariri. He was under house arrest. Imagine Saudi Arabia arresting a previous prime minister. And all of their millions, as usual, for the wrong purposes. They don't send money usually for the right purposes. They're not even good with money. Let's see if you have anything else here. Mason Saeed, is it true that 10,000 Jewish soldiers came from Turkey to fight in Gaza alongside the IDF? I'm not sure about the number, but I heard the report. And obviously that's being taken seriously in Turkey. Probably dual nationals, unless some people volunteered. Some people did volunteer, and the Turkish government knew. That raises a lot of questions. That raises a lot of questions. And you know, this man, that's the thing, you know, Netanyahu, he's continuing all of this. He dropped in the polls after a couple of months into the war. Then he started to slightly go back up. Now he's at an all-time low. Over 70% of the Israelis want him to resign in a very recent poll. 40%, 44% in a recent poll said that he needs to immediately resign. 28% immediately after the war. So you have every single excuse to take action against this genocidal entity. Yet they don't. They enable him. The Israelis don't approve of him. The world doesn't approve of him. Sure as hell, the Palestinian people don't approve of him. What else do you want? The people close to him don't approve of him. And more calls are coming that these people are delusional. You know, this man, Yitzhak Brik, who I always quote, he's a major general in the IDF. Do you know what he said recently? He was one of those people who predicted the 7th of October. He said an imminent attack is coming from Gaza. And they're seeing the weakness and they're seeing the division. They're seeing the division in the society. That's from the judicial reform times. And who said like Netanyahu is leading for catastrophe, even though he spoke 6 times with him since the beginning of the war, trying to change his course. He recently stated Israel will not achieve victory over Hamas. They will not be victorious over Hamas. And now is the time to admit defeat. He constantly escalates. Israel will not achieve victory over Hamas. They will not defeat the Hamas. And now it's time to admit that we have been defeated. He said the Israeli army succeeds in destroying buildings, but he is not capable of stopping Hamas that remains in the tunnel city. And they went back to their size before the war with new young men coming to replace the people who were killed. If the Israeli army, listen to that, doesn't have the capacity to defeat Hamas, then it is for certain, it's for sure, that they will not be able to defeat Hezbollah, who, according to him, are armed with 150,000 missiles and shells and UAVs. Hezbollah have more than that. The continuation of the war will not achieve victory. To the contrary, The defeat of Israel will be more painful. The defeat of Israel will be more painful. Let's see if we have anything else in the chat before we wrap up. No, okay, let's wrap it up there, guys. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And obviously, if you're in this live stream and you haven't been in the previous live stream, this is a continuation of the previous live stream. Go ahead and check it out. It's the same thumbnail, but without the part 2. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all of your participation. Thank you for everyone who sent supers. Excuse me, I missed some of them because we had different live streams in this live chat. We had Gullyberg, Bizrin, Studio Rainer. Thank you so much. And everyone else who participated. Obviously, apologies if I missed any of your comments because of the 2 live streams, and obviously the live chat keeps going away. Apart from that, enjoy the rest of your evening and your night or day, depending on where you are. I'll hopefully be with you tomorrow. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone, and peace.